Bum, 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 bum. Hello, everybody. Happy July 1st, 2025. It's Andy once again, and I'm here to ask you if you recall where you were, what you were doing, if you were even alive in 1994. I was 23. I was trying to figure out what the hell to do with my life. The only right decision I'd made was meeting and staying with and being smart enough to stay with my wife of today. We've been together that long, actually longer. But yeah, I was figuring out my life. We were both in school. I went to George Mason University, and back then I went to the library one day, and we had computers. We did. I grew up with the Commodore 64 and an Atari 400 with the membrane keyboard that was a pain in the ass. I thought it was so cool, but you couldn't type with that thing worth a shit, not easily. And a Commodore 64 with a 2400 baud modem and a dot matrix printer. I thought I was the guy from War Games. I couldn't do a damn thing but play video games, and they sucked. But in 94, things started to get amazing. We were entering the future. So we had computers that were actually cool, but they didn't do that much, but they were expensive. I remember having a Compaq. It cost like $3,000, and it wasn't much more than a game system and a word processing system. Maybe you could get online, but you tied up your phone line and nobody could call. Ooh, stupid. I had a mobile phone because cell phones didn't exist really, and my mobile phone, I had to go get it installed. Do you remember that? I had to get it installed at a Bell Atlantic installation center in the western part of the county. Way like 18, it doesn't sound like a far, but it's 18 miles west of here. And I lived in Alexandria City back then. But they had to install it with wires and a transceiver in the trunk, and they put a hook on the floorboard sort of and on the passenger side, and you would take your handset and just hook it into that and plug it in. And that was your phone. It was only for the car unless you had a special box thing like a purse, which I didn't have. So when you left at night, you took your phone out and you took it home and put it on the counter because you didn't want somebody to see your phone in your car and steal it out of your 1990 Nissan Sentra, the box car. So yeah, that was the 90s, the early 90s. This stuff that we have now and take for granted, the iPhone, which is recording the video for this, not the audio, but even thought of. They had it on Star Trek, The Next Generation, the pads, remember those? iPads. So back then, it was a different time, and it's fun to recall those times as you get older. So why am I talking about the 90s? A book that came out today on July 1st called Dial-Up Doom Part 1, written by Brian Parker, narrated by me. The book was actually done and recorded in early June, and we were going to wait until about mid-June you can never guess with ACX and Audible, you'll hit approve, the author will approve the book for its quality checks. And I've had books come out like literally in a day. Big sellers too, right? In a day, which is how it should be. And then this book, Brian accidentally hit approve on, and it came out like in early June, and we were very quiet about it because we didn't want it to be out there before the book. I'm sure people found it, but now that it's out there, I want to make sure people know about it because that's how it's supposed to work. Not a book that's out, a book that's done before it, and the book on audio sits and waits for 10 to 12 days while they do whatever up there. Doesn't make any sense to me. So, Dial-Up Doom Part 1. Read it and listen to it. You'll love it. Especially if you're like an older bastard like me, if you're 40s or of, doesn't mean you won't like it if you're in your teens or 20s, but the memories that come back are funny. This book is part family drama sort of, part horror, part fantasy, part apocalypse, part comedy. A lot of nostalgia. But it's a great story. I laughed when I was recording it. I think you'll love it. I think Brian really killed it with this one. I think the series is going to be great. It's fun. Dial-Up Doom Part 1. Take a trip back in time 30 years and see what happens when bad things from another universe, part of the universe, whatever the hell, that fantasy dark realm, when it comes out to take over the current place we live in and call home. Dial-Up Doom. It's fun. You'll love it. And I hope that you take the time to check it out. Anyway, I don't want to take up more of your time. I want you to get the book and listen to it. This is Andy. I'm out. I will see you again sooner or later. Thanks.